Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Deja Vu, and I'm going to be bringing you a match from the Shenanbank Pro League 0809. This is Round 4, Week 7, the very final week from Round 4. This is going to be Hwaesung OZ versus Samsung Khan. And this is actually an extremely important match, and it's why I'm casting it, is because Samsung Khan, if they actually pull out a win here against Hwaesung OZ, they will maintain their 4th position in the Pro League. And as we head into the 5th round, and this is very important because the top 4 teams get to actually participate in the playoffs. And should Samsung Khan go down here, they will be on the outside looking in, heading with 1 round left to go. So Samsung Khan is throwing out their best lineup they possibly can. Here in the first game, we're going to have Jangbi. In the second, Stork. In third, we're going to have Great, who's been playing fantastically this entire round for Samsung Khan. He's been their top player this round. And then in the fourth set, we're going to have Firebat Hero. Theoretically, this is the best lineup that they can throw out. However, Jangbi, Stork, and Firebat Hero have all been slumping as of late. So we'll get to see if here in a more of a pressure situation, if possibly they can pull out some great games here and keep their team in 4th place ahead of Cool Heights Sparkies. And this first set is going to be on God's Garden. For Jangbi's opponent will be ggaemo for Hwaesung OZ. And here we go. We'll get you the start positions real fast here. It is going to be Jangbi in orange in the top left, and ggaemo in the bottom left, the Zerg player in yellow. Now, God's Garden is in ZVP is actually favored towards Zerg. In fact, a lot of the games on this map have become ZVZ because Zerg players have been just doing so well on it. But Jangbi is an extremely good player. He has been slumping as of late, but he is an extremely good player. 60% overall, 57% versus Zerg. And ggaemo, finally, for Hwaesung OZ, we're going to see someone other than Lomohaya, Jaedong, and Bako. Other than that big 4, we're going to see something different here. We're going to see ggaemo. And it looks like Jangbi's actually coming out here with a probe, so we're going to see some cheese here, some early cheese. And for Hwaesung OZ, ggaemo is definitely a new player. This is going to be his 10th game ever played. He's 2-7 up to this point, which is pretty bad, but he is young. He hasn't played a lot, so we'll see what he can come up with. And that is a pylon going down, so that's going to be some proxy gateways here. He's not going to be, that's certainly not going to be any sort of forge build or anything. That is going to be gateways. And we'll see what he gets to do here. And actually, ggaemo could be in a pretty good spot here because he guessed correctly with his Overlord. He started in the bottom left, sent his Overlord to the top left, and he's going to get a scout on Jangbi very early, and he's going to see that there isn't the expected forge fast expand going on because he's going to pass by that natural before he even gets into the base. So very early on, he's going to know that something weird is going to go up, and he'll probably be able to react and throw down a pool in time. In fact, his intended build was actually a 12 pool apparently here, so maybe that was an overpool. I didn't actually catch that for sure. But either way, he shouldn't be caught totally off guard as he would be if he threw down, say, a 12 hatch or something along those lines, because yeah, the 12 pool or an overpool should give you more than enough. I think that was a 12 pool. Should give you enough time to get out Zerglings to counter a rush, at least somewhat well. And yeah, now ggaemo is going to know that something's going on because it's not a forge fast expand, which is what you expect to see every single time pretty much in a PvZ. Now we're seeing a drone going out to the back third. I call that base, the protected base back there. I call it the back third, and ggaemo is going to throw down a hatchery there. His spawning pool will be coming up, and in time to deal with this cheese, or at least attempt to deal with this cheese. We'll see how good Jangbi's micro is. Jangbi has thrown up 2 gateways there in the middle of the map, and he's going to be pumping zealots very shortly. And the first one should be coming out. I think it's already out. I think it's already wandering down to ggaemo's base. So we'll see how much damage he's able to do. I don't actually anticipate him being able to do much damage because ggaemo did go for that relatively early pool, and he should be getting up 6 Zerglings very soon. I anticipate that all 3 of those eggs will be Zerglings, and yeah, there's 3 eggs, there's 6 Zerglings. There's no way one Zealot's going to be able to deal with that. And in fact, Jangbi might even be in some trouble here because because of this. The Lings can just run right by the gateways and run right by the Zealots and go straight for Jangbi's base and possibly do a lot of damage, while at the same time ggaemo will be able to continue producing Zerglings and he's also throwing down a sunken colony down here in his main base, and he should be able to at least put up a decent defense here of his main. However, it does look like Jangbi's actually going to be going for that back third. He's going to stop that from going up, but I'm not sure how Jangbi's going to be able to deal with the Zerglings that are coming in. The Zerglings are now moving into the base of Jangbi, and he could be in some big trouble here. Jangbi is going to go and stop this second base from going on, the second hatchery, which is going to be good, but now he's going to have some great probe here against 6 Zerglings, and this is going to be a long time that Jangbi's not going to be allowed to mine, and if these pylons go down, Jangbi also will not be allowed to produce troops from those gateways, so those proxy gateways will not be able to do anything. More Zerglings coming in now, and it looks like ggaemo is willing to just sacrifice this hatchery. He actually let it come in, did not cancel it. Just probably wanted to, for a couple extra lings he'll get out of that, and also it'll force the Zealots to stay there and continue to hack at that hatchery rather than doing damage to his main. And now we're going to see ggaemo try and stop these Zealots at the gateways. I don't know if this is exactly the best idea for him. I think he should just go for the main and try and take down the probes and the pylons, and then try and come back and deal with this. But as long as he's got some pressure going on at the main of Jangbi, he'll be able to keep those probes from mining and be able to take a huge advantage here, because this entire time ggaemo is mining and Jangbi really is not. We haven't actually seen the main. I assume that there's still Zerglings in there. I'd be very surprised to see that ggaemo pulled his Zerglings out of there. I assume that they're still there, still harassing, still disrupting the flow of mining. And no, apparently they're not. ggaemo did pull all of his Zerglings out to deal with these Zealots. Apparently he felt that the threat of these Zealots was greater than the advantage he could possibly get out of stopping the mining of Jangbi. And now we're seeing a big fight between the Zealots and the Zerglings, and it does look like these Zerglings, it's going to be close. Oh, he needs some little better micro here. Jangbi had some great micro there. You'll see that his two Zealots that are left both have like 4 or 8 HP, almost nothing, which means that he was watching their HPs very, very carefully and microing them out of harm's way and then bringing them back in, and it doesn't look like ggaemo was paying as close of attention. So Jangbi was able to get in several extra hits here and do a lot more damage per like HP per Zealot than you normally see. And Jangbi again using some great micro here. However, he's just being overrun now. He just does not have enough troops. It doesn't matter how good your micro is in some points. If there's just that many Zerglings there and you just don't have that many Zealots, there's just nothing you can do, and that's exactly the position Jangbi is in right now. He's keeping 2 Zealots on his ramp to make sure that these Zerglings don't come back into his main, and he's just continuously pumping Zealots trying to protect these gateways and that pylon. And he's also put up Zealots at ggaemo's main ramp, so he's stopping reinforcing Zerglings from coming out as well. So he's got both bases are contained now by Zealots, but it does look like ggaemo is going to try and do a surround here on the Zealots that are on his main. He's going to kill this probe very quickly, and now he's going to go for a surround on these Zealots. And here we come. Now these Zealots will go down pretty quickly here. They're in a decent spot, so they'll do as much damage as possible, but there's no way that they're going to survive theirs. And yeah, now they all go down, and now ggaemo once again will be able to get some map control here and try and do some more damage. Jangbi, however, because he was able to defend his main so effectively and really held off that initial Zergling push and was able to stop that second hatchery from becoming a legit base for a long time, he's not in as bad shape as he could have been. He does look like he's going to lose these gateways, and he's going to lose that pylon that's out in the middle of the map. But as long as he's already prepared and he's already built another gateway, he should be okay in his own base. He should be okay. He does have enough Zealots on that ramp that it's going to take a ridiculous number of Zerglings in order to break that. And that's just a number that ggaemo is not going to produce. It does look like Jangbi here is going to throw down another